Hello and good evening. Welcome back to another Tales of Vardin session on To Be Diced Adventures. Lots to unpack this evening, but before we do, let's see our beautiful, wonderful cast that will take us through this story this evening, starting right up here with our wonderful Millie.
Howdy, everybody. It is your clergy assassination of the cloth, Millie. Also, going by Xavier. Um, Not much fancy about me other than I'm just a dude playing a dude trying to live in an isekai world playing as another dude. Fun fact, Millie quote for the week to get y'all through is just because trouble comes visiting doesn't mean you have to offer it a place to sit down.
There you go.
And then passing it on to our lovely other rogue.
Well, hello, I am Cymite. You can find me as Cymite on all the places. And I'm playing Emrys, our rogue sorcerer, who is currently he a lot going on in his head right now.
I guess that leaves me. Hello, my name is Taylor, also known as Nerdy Pinup Girl on most social media platforms, mainly active on TikTok and Instagram. If you like cosplay, D&D, Smashable Monsters, special effects makeup, spooky shit, you should totally give me a follow. Today I am playing the 7-foot-tall green muscle mommy, Grendel Fialova, who is just trying to get through this shit. She wants her girlfriend back, and I'm just going to put it at that because this session is going to be just, Jesus Christ, God's help me.
Hey guys, I'm Dia, also known as DFL.cosplay across also all social media. I'm already stuttering because so much happened last session. And Xenia is just one bad incident removed from probably just leaving, had it not been for his friends, and that's the only reason he's made it this far. He has no motivation whatsoever other than vibes. Let's be honest. So yes, I play Xenia, our runt of a half-orc Beastmaster Ranger. As you can see behind me, he's a very handsome, pretty boy. He is also regarded as our legendary Pokemon master for all of his abyssal summons and creatures of the dark that we pretend are just normal puppies and kittens. It's great.
Well, yeah, a lot happened last session. The party found a distribution center for a new drug in town called Black Dust that's been causing some problems lately. And they took it upon themselves to investigate further. And upon finding the warehouse where all of their product is stored, decided to attack fairly abruptly, which ended poorly for one of our members. Amongst all of that, they came across a familiar face from the beginning of our campaign, one of our previous players, Dizikath, also known as FaZe, that had been turned to the abyssal side of part of Vorak Baal's Legion. Chaos, absolute chaos ensued during combat. And again, it ended with one of our own falling. And that's kind of where we left off after some cutting and running back to the ship. Everyone parted ways. And that's where we'll pick up today on our session on To Be Diced. Where to start? Where to begin?
Let's start on a new day after a long rest.
I agree with that.
Give me a moment. I think my end is lagging a bit.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. There we go. Yeah. I think we're good now. Cool. Where is everyone at following where we ended last time? I know, Millie, you're in the captain's quarters, casting your ritual, getting your divinations. Emerus, you headed to Nina's, and after that to Captain Jack's. Grendel, you headed back to the ship, correct?
Yeah, she was just fucking done. She's back to the ship, probably passed out, patching herself up.
Okay. Xenia, you scoured the area around the warehouse, finishing off any other sort of stragglers or crawlers or any sort of abyssal entities. Is there anything else that you're doing while you're out, or where are you heading after that?
No, securing the perimeter was the most important thing.
Okay.
I didn't have anything, or was aware of anything that might hold meaning to phase, and if so, I would have just left a little something over the top of where he was buried, but I didn't know him very well. Otherwise, I would have followed Grendel because she's in a very precarious situation.
Very well.
We never looted anything.
I don't loot, I scavenge.
There you go.
Grendel thinks it's bodies.
Where did you and Grendel put Dizakath?
I believe just outside of probably if there was a field or something near the battlefield outside of town, probably would be where
just the closest.
Yeah, considering that the dead has had a habit of coming back to certain extents. Grendel would probably want to make sure that the body is somewhere at least outside of the village.
Yeah.
But she would have paid her respects, left a large bouquet of flowers from Druidcraft, and say goodbye to another one of her friends.
Okay. That was a small detail from last time that I wanted to clarify, just where that was. Yeah, beautiful. So, aboard the Pale Lady, we are in the captain's quarters with Millie and his cards, the small journal that he's found, and the wedding ring used as tethers during this divination. And Millie, you hear on the door a banging. Someone is trying to kick it down, and you hear on the other side of it Ogner. And after 2 or 3 hard hits, the door comes crashing in.
I would like to, with the loud banging before the door crashes, sleight of hand the notebook into my pocket.
Okay, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand roll.
Because I'm out of everything from last night or last week. 19 plus 12.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 31, I think, is the number. Okay.
Ogner comes in, cigar in mouth. Goes, Millie, whatever you do in your free time ain't my business. Until it involved busting in the captain's cabin and doing some ritual with Vardin's largest piece of overcooked bacon. Now, what in the hells are you doing in here?
Millie is going to not turn around. He'll remain motionless. His antics or quirks about him has changed since Ogner last met him, and he, in a very deep or very emotional, saddened voice, preparing the last resting rites for our dear captain. William has fallen, and I need to prepare the crew for a service on the oncoming dawn.
So what's going on here? Are you trying to bring him back or something?
I was seeing whether this was his fate. If there was a tether that I overlooked, if there was something that I couldn't pick up. But alas, my gambling days have caught up to me, and yet again, I was late to preventing the inevitable. And because of it, and he'll stand brushing his duster off and reveal William's charred body to him, and he is going to keep his head down, his hat off his head at this time, looking, and yeah, he's just going to nod and say that correct me if I'm wrong there, Mr. Ogner, but as of now, the ship's going to need their second mate to step up to the plate and command the ship. The other thing would be the other officers, Grendel, Emrys, Xenia, and all of the captains trust and need to know what happened and what they wish to do with his last rites, whether they would like to bury him at sea or bury him once again to earth or to soil, but I leave that for you all to decide, and I offer myself to give and perform the funeral rites for his last resting place. And Millie will he'll gather the cards, and he will pick up his or William's wedding ring, and he'll ask Ogner, do you know if the captain had any family members that knew of him and that would like to know if or what happened to him?
Unfortunately, I... Didn't really know the captain very well. Didn't really aim to get into his personal business very much. And as he's going on, he kind of looks. You're facing him at this point.
Yeah.
You've turned.
Mhm.
Kind of looks over your shoulder and he goes, I'm happy to help with whatever we're doing next. Is it supposed to be doing that?
Millie turns around.
A green yellow vapor quickly begins to emanate from the room as it expands. And Ogner tucks his neck scarf up above. He goes, "We gotta get the hell out of here." And he's out the door as it's continuing to spread. If you're staying in the room, I need a Constitution saving throw. What you got?
Millie wouldn't run because he knows something, so we're going to stay.
Okay.
You said con, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Lord Gracious Dungeon Master, who loves me and all of his followers, does a gracious 11 appease appease the Dungeon Master with snack goodies and whatnot? No.
Unfortunately, that does not make the save, so you'll be taking 5d8 poison damage, the full amount.
Jesus Christ.
Cloud kill that is emanating from the body
Wait,
of...
was it a spell?
It is an effect that happens upon death.
Okay. Oh no.
It is not cast from any source. It is the putrescence of William's soul and body.
All right,
A way to keep those that would tamper with it away from a safety measure, for lack of a better word. So 5d8, after some quick math, that is 32 points of poison damage.
God, that's gonna change things.
Your voice still up, but Millie is coughing, and I mean,
just eyes watering, just absolutely,
yeah. Millie is hurt, and he's gonna. I really didn't want to do this. I would like to know for my final decision on what else is happening to William's body right now.
It is stationary. Go ahead and make me a perception check with disadvantage.
Yep. Well, all right. Millie is not doing so hot tonight, folks. 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
Through the smoke and the gas, you could swear for a moment you see the outline of a 6.5-foot dragonborn pacing the room, but only for a moment. And then it's gone in a wisp. William's body doesn't seem to be moving at this time. It is right where you left it, broken bones and all. The skin is still just as charred, exposed bones exactly where they'd been placed. Do you stay?
Millie, because of his oath, will stay at the ready with his veteran sword, but he is going to call out to the others. He will yell out, ready to protect yourself, as loud as he physically can, and I'll roll a performance with how hurt he was from that gas.
Okay.
So with a performance for roll for cool, that's a dirty 20 to at least give his last gusto to at least let the remaining personnel know to prepare themselves to defend themselves, and hope some others are around.
Okay. If you wish to resist, I need you to make me an athletics check, please.
All right. I hate Millie for these paladin oaths that I wrote. Okay, I can work with this. 16? 15 plus 1?
By the back of your duster, you feel a yank as Ogner is pulling you out of there and reprimanding you for, like, what are you doing? You want to get yourself killed? Like, you're the person that we need around here because there's dead people.
Yep.
Just your eyes watering red, coughing, hacking. And as you look around, you see that the vapor stops at the door and doesn't go any further.
Okay. That would have been... All right.
Chris, would Grendel be able to hear Millie below deck?
Yes, you would absolutely hear, ready yourselves, ready to defend yourselves, and with a command and a seriousness that you just got done with stuff. You just sat down. Like, it's one of those days where you've been on your feet all day and you just sat down, and then there's somebody else yelling at you to do something else. And it's, oh man.
I will say Grendel will be coming out, dragging her ballista behind her, wrapping a fucking bandage around her arm with her free hand, the other holding the ballista. She looks angies. Like, she is pissy. She's hurting. She is not in a good mood. She goes, "What the fuck is going on, Millie? Is William back?"
Millie is just going, this isn't William. This is something more. And he's going to
above table reminder, Grendel doesn't know William's dead.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. He's going to he's gonna ask if right now the captain is in the room, but there is something different about him, and he points to the cloud. that vapor is toxic, possibly to us.
His last fart was quite powerful and deadly, indeed.
Yeah. And he states that we need to address something with the rest of the crew. Right now, it looks like that is contained.
Grundle's gonna look at the smoke, like in the captain's quarters. Kind of sits and tilts her head for a moment as she has memories of a very similar situation where smoke was protruding from a strange cube. And the smoke she could remember, everything else beyond that just seemed like an empty space that has been, like a puzzle piece has been removed from it. She kind of brushes over the thought for a moment and she goes, well, if William is throwing a fit, then just ground him and keep him in his quarters until he decides to fucking deal with whatever the fuck is going on. Are we being attacked, or is it just whatever this is?
Millie's just going to like look to Grendel with grief, pain, and concern in his eyes as he looks to Ogner and her and state, follow me to the top of the, or to the main deck. I have something to address. Ogner, I need your assistance in making this known as he begins to walk.
Grendel just gets a gut in her feeling, seeing the look on Millie's face. She again recognizes the look of, hey, someone's dead. But again, she doesn't recognize the face of which she remembers it from.
Mm-hmm.
As she then follows him up, just with the exhaustion, but now just feeling the heaviness of the situation going on, not quite understanding what's happening, as she kind of glares at Millie before making her way up to the main deck.
As you make your way up to the main deck, congregate, Ogner brings the men around. A younger lad. Permission to come aboard? I have a message for Millie.
Mm-hmm.
You, sir. Yeah, here. Gentleman told me to give this to you. And he hands you...
I sent it over as well.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
Millie,
you got it from both of us.
Millie thanks the lad and sends him on his way, just glimpsing at it. All right. Millie, is do we have sending stones for the crew out of curiosity or no? More specifically, I think towards, I think Xenia, Grendel, and Ogner.
I think William had one more sending stone that would be used as a message spell. However, I don't believe that it was on his person. I think it was with the rest of the gold stash that he kept in a personal place.
He did give one to Grendel.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing is she was going to be using that to contact her family. She'll just kind of reach for her pouch, kind of feeling the sending stone. She looks at Millie and she goes, "What do you need it for?"
I need a way to contact and see where Xenia is and to make sure that he's okay and have him return to the ship immediately.
Xenia was at the top of the stairs. He just
Oh,
didn't go where you were.
whoops. Look,
Yeah,
that
you
stealth
guys
roll is
spoke
pretty
before I could
high.
mention something, but he is there, and he would have asked, "What is it now?"
High passive stealth. I get it. Oh, this is gonna be weird.
Everyone make me a perception check, please.
Yeah, we're gonna bypass
Passive
that.
23.
Passive 23.
Or
Then-
I'd like that.
If we're
That's a
doing
26 roll.
passives, any passive 21 work, you know?
26.
Y'all
That'll
are
be a
pretty
four-
perceptive.
That'll be a 14 for Grendel.
14. Okay.
It's gonna be a 19 for me. I rolled a
16
9.
minus-
You've seen ships moving in and out of the bay here at Port Karashi. There are two that have pulled up behind the Pale Lady. And Ogner
You can
would
share it now if
know
you like.
this, as well as anyone who has sailed. They are blocking you all in, and as they do, footsteps of a battalion begin to trample down the docks. Getting rid of this overlay. There we go. And
Oh no.
at the head of this
Ah.
section of warriors, these Port Karashi naval officers, dressed more officially at the head of this battalion, is Emrys.
I was hoping you'd give them a tiny bit more time before we arrive, but okay. This is what's happening. Millie, did you read the note?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do anything that's on it?
Yep. So Millie seeing this, he's going to nudge for Grendel because she's a tall muscle mommy. To kneel down to ear level with or vocal level with Millie.
Grendel staring down this group as they're approaching, slowly just bends down on one knee and glares over at Millie and she goes, "What the hell is going on here?"
In order to make sure everyone stays alive, I need you to reserve your strength. Trust me. And he's going to he'll look to Xenia and ask for him to nope, not Xenia. Yeah, he's going to they can't see anything above waist level, can they?
No. Yeah, especially if you're in the center of the deck, they probably don't have very much of a... Yeah.
It's like a
Beautiful.
20-foot.
Grendel squats
wide.
down, it'll make it even harder for them to see.
So I'm going to look to Ogner and ask him, if he's able to, because depending on what depending on what you do, DM, I don't want to keep you talking to yourself between whoever this is and then being Ogner at the same time, and ask if you would be so kind to
Ogner.
see what it is they need while I do Millie things. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I can step into Ogner, no problem.
Actually, this is Millie.
And then yeah, Millie's going to slip Xenia a coin. No, he's going to slip Xenia a card. And he's going to whisper while passing him, when I give the signal, all of you need to make it below deck. And he's going to continue to walk towards the captain's quarter.
Xenia in his head is just repeating, I hate the sea, I hate the sea.
Oh,
There's
Really on
nothing
that.
good that come from it.
So Millie, that note did come with the portable hole.
Yep,
See.
I have it. Yep.
Cool. It's about this time you would hear the voice of Emrys come up over their eyes here. I have a whole spiel. Good evening, morning, crew of the Pale Lady. I have an official writ here from the Nen Navy. The Pale Lady, being found in the employ of the Scarlet Brotherhood, is found in violation of the laws of Port Karashi and the island of Nen, and is hereby confiscated and fortified as property of Port Karashi Navy, and ownership thereof set to be under the command of Captain Emrys Gelfing. Signed, Jacqueline Moonweaver, Port Karashi Commissioner. Men, capture, disarm, and line them up on their knees on the dock. No killing! You men, with the lockboxes, follow me.
To whoever is closest to Xenia, he's just going to ask him, who is that guy again? Did he not fight with us? I'm so confused.
I am as well. All I know is that if he gets too close, I'm going to break him over my knee.
And as he comes up over the rise, he looks to Grendel.
She's dead stare at you, like daggers in her eyes.
He mouths to you. There's no fight. Everyone dies.
I'm going to have to make a. Would that be like an insight check for her to be able to read his lips?
go ahead and roll me an insight.
Because I'm pretty sure Grundle doesn't know how to read lips.
And
That's a 10. It's a 10.
Based on what Millie told you, you get the sense that Emrys is giving you a whatever you're going to do, don't do it. But for what reason, if it's to try to save your life or if it's just to make this thing go easier for them, that's up for debate.
Upon Millie's request, she's just again daggers her eyes at Emrys. Definitely betrayal on her face as she again just doesn't quite understand the situation. But she's exhausted, she's weak, she knows that she can't fight and she's not going to make it very far if she tries. And she just turns to Xenia and perhaps we should listen to what Millie said. I don't know what's going on, but I don't have the strength to fight not all these men.
Yeah, I'd definitely say we're a hair more than outnumbered in this situation, Grendel. As Ogner just kind of stands there. Navi, Aro, gather everybody else, bring them up here.
I don't care to fight so soon. And the ship is a ship is a ship. I care more for our lives than whatever confiscation they have planned.
Emrys glides right up to the three of you with two close behind him holding lockboxes. He says, Grendel, Xenia, Ogna, I'm sorry for this, but I'm going to need that shield and those braces in these lockboxes. If you please. I promise you, they will not go far from me. And you will have them back, should the day go well.
Xenia is going to remove his bracer and then hold it past his shoulder where Rico will pop out and eat it. And then he's going to hand Rico to Emrys. And then be like, take good care of him. He might
He'll
eat
be
you
safe.
too.
I promise.
As Xenia takes the gauntlet off, the metal begins to fold in on itself, just in and around the yellow gem that is in somewhat of a cube shape, jagged edges, and it swirls and glows with energy that she hands off to Rico, who puts it in his cheek and is handed over.
Xenia gives it to Rico knowing that Rico will not regurgitate that without a direct order from himself.
So I was going to put it in my bag of holding. Is he going to survive in the bag of holding?
No, I would not recommend that. He can stay by you.
All right. Sure. Grendel, I'm sorry, but I will need it.
Grendel has her hand over her
You won't get it
buckler.
back.
Very protective. And upon seeing Xenia feed the gauntlet to Rico, she's going to take off the gauntlet, glaring at Emrys the whole entire time as she does it.
His face is just pleading, please.
And she is going to look at Rico as she extends it to the pack monk. I will also like to keep that with Rico as well. Those are my conditions and terms.
can't have them in the same place. That's what the separate lockboxes were for. I don't want them too close to each other. We don't quite yet know what will happen should we do that. So
She'll take the buckler, shove it against his chest. Like I have much of a choice.
I'll place it in the lockbox, close it, not lock it, but I will keep the lockbox with me. I give a little scritch to the creature. All right.
One of the men comes up to you with the shackles that you had requested previously. We've got everyone lined up. Which ones do we need to use these ones on?
Thank you. None of these, they will cooperate. The rest of the crew is fine. These are for someone special. Where is Millie?
Living my life like it's golden.
Millie, this is where we'll go to you.
So
Yeah.
Fuck, fuck.
the entire time this is happening, Millie has casted protection from evil and good, went back into the captain's quarter to place him or the captain into the portable hole. He will place the lantern into his handy haversack, and he will make a mix of parts oil, water, and 2 gallons of gunpowder, and mix it as best he can, hasty, and pour it all over the captain's desk. And he will attempt, if he has enough time, to place himself in a more ceremonial, like funeral, Shadow Queen style priest robe, if he has enough time to do all of this.
While everything is going on deck, the amount of time that Grendel held on to the shield and kind of had that interaction with Emerus, there's plenty of time, and you're moving with purpose and very quickly as well.
I would like to do one last thing, and I would like to attempt to hide the hull and my bag,
Do a good job.
if I can, places in here, and I'll roll separately for both because I no longer have my raven.
Okay.
So for the first one, hey, do I have any luck? All right. So sleight of hands, right, or stealth?
Whichever I think would be fine. You can argue
Beautiful.
for both of them.
So sleight of hand, that is going to be a 19 for the handy haversack. And then for the portable hole, beautiful. That is a 28.
Let's go.
Yeah, I rolled a
job.
7 on the first one. And I was hoping for dear life that he wasn't going to say stealth.
A 7 for a 19. Good.
Plus 12, baby.
Dude.
Jesus
crazy.
fucking Christ!
Yeah.
Welcome to the life of Millie, where being sneaky has its perks.
All right. So, Millie has the mixture poured all over, has been able to quick change into a Silent Queen priestly robe and hide these pieces.
Does the fog cloud kind of limit itself to the end of the portable hole now, since his body goes in the portable hole?
If it's in the portable hole, then the gas begins to clear out of the room. Yeah.
Cool. Emrys will head upstairs with Commander Kenji and probably 2 other soldiers, leaving the rest of the soldiers with all of you, taking you down here and lining you up at the edge of the dock. So where's Captain Kenji? Right here.
Ooh. I'd like to take this time to do a remote viewing on that card that I gave Xenia to see what's going on around him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently in a trance right now.
Gotcha. All right. So what's going on around Xenia? You would see the men of the ship, correct, Emrys, being escorted onto the dock itself and lined up. You would see an older gentleman. Let me see. I think I have it. Send it to the chat here. There we go. An older, grizzled war veteran accompanying Emrys across the deck of the ship. The battalion of these Port Karashi Navy individuals basically running the deck at this point.
Okay. I'm going to dismiss my trance. Oh,
what
you
is,
go.
What is Grendel doing during this? Is everyone just standing still and like going along with everything? Are there white knuckles? Like, what's going on?
She is going along, but yeah, her fists are fucking balled up. She is doing the only thing that is keeping her from fucking just going off on Emrys is Millie's orders, and considering that she is fucking hurting and exhausted, and she knows that if she loses her fucking shit at this point, it's not going to end well. But she is fuming. Like you could probably say temperature probably raises about 2 degrees with how angry she is. Her blood pressure is through the damn roof.
You would also see Millie. How far out can you see from Xenia?
A good old whopping. If you are within 10 miles, you enter a trance as an action, but it ends early if I dismiss it, no action. During the trance, I can see and hear from the token as if I were in that location exactly. While I'm using my senses as the token's location, I am blinded and deafened in regards to my own surroundings. So I basically see what all Xenia sees as if I was there.
So in addition to the men on the deck, you would also be able to see the 2 ships that are acting as a blockade behind the Pale Lady, with guns ready. If anything goes south, fire at will.
Okay, I'm gonna dismiss my trance and start to recite prayers as a Catholic priest would in honor of the Raven Queen, as I am doing a performance for an exorcism.
All right. So Captain Emrys and Kenji, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Into the room, and probably still a little bit residual cloud kill, and I see the supposed remains of the captain upon this table that he was set on. I say, Millie, what is this? Where's the cap?
Well, you caught me in the middle of a prayer, so first, rude of you.
Excuse me.
Second, I came down to try to get the captain, and well, this happened. And I immediately went ahead and, because I was afraid, uh, started to recite the prayers of the Shadow Queen in hopes that she will protect me and this crew. I may have been rusty on my citations and my chant and my scriptures, but that is between me and you and him.
Wait, so I'm to believe then that that is what remains of William the Great?
As sad as it is to say, and I wish it weren't so, yes.
Emrys will come around. He will poke a finger into this goop, sniff it. He looks over to Commander Kenji. Captain was always a bit strange. I honestly didn't expect to find something like this.
What is it?
It is ectoplasm, sir. The remains of an undead body. It appears that the good captain has dissolved. It seems this is all that remains of the great William Powell. Sad end to a sad story.
From ashes you're born, to ashes you return. Go with the gods.
Millie, would you please do your best to give him last rites and maybe gather what remains and clean up the rest? It's, these will be my quarters for the future.
Really arches an eyebrow? Very well.
Thank you.
And he goes back to with a I rolled a 2 for religion, so that was a, hold on, just because it's funny, a solid 3 for my religion for max roll, and he's going to just butcher the the ceremonial, like, off great value chant of just like ear curdling, just abomination of a song.
And we start hearing that.
Yeah.
Gods, Commander, let's step out and let him leave to his business.
Right.
And we will come down to the dock where currently, presumably, the entire crew has been shepherded.
Yes.
And Emrys will begin to walk the line back and forth. And I have another goddamn speech. Now, I know that this must come as a shock to all of you. But, if I may have you turn, and see that your choices are not great. Attempted retreat will only lead to certain death. Now, that is not to say that there cannot, however, be opportunity. There is a potential future for all of you on this crew. Do not wish to live the rest of your lives in stocks or in a cell. A future where you serve under me as your captain, while serving the island of Nen as naval sailors. You will be adequately paid, and benefits will be given upon death to any of your immediate family members, should they exist. You will share equally in any glory, riches, and adventure from this point on. However, more importantly than that, I will never lie to you about the dangers we may face in the future. Your former captain, it would seem, put you in dangerous situations, one after the other, without ever telling you why you had to fight for your lives over and over again. I will always tell you the why. The reason for our fight. With the men who were recently hired here in Port Karashi, please stand and step forward.
And they do.
You men could have had no knowledge of whom you were truly joining up with, which is why you may return to your post aboard now with no fear. Your pay will be adjusted accordingly, and any wages you received under the old regime you may keep for yourselves. As for the rest of you, any who do not have the mark of the Scarlet Brotherhood, but knew whom you served, you will be paying off your debt to the island of Nen by serving aboard this ship with no pay for the next 3 months, at which time you will be made Navy sailors and rolled into the rest of the crew. Those of you with the mark, 2 of you will be going with the commander today. Unavoidable, I'm afraid. He will have some questions for you. The rest of you will be taken to a cleric, and your marks will be attempted to be removed before you can return to the crew with the same 3-month deal as the others.
As you say this, one of the men you hear a crack. And emanating from the mouth, beginning to spread, is this fiery line, essentially, as their cheek begins to turn to ash and they begin to scream in agony as they slump to the ground and writhe in pain. Their eyes and mouth beginning to glow a bright, hot red.
Everyone quickly
as
step
they
away.
turn to ash and blow away.
Grendel, ignoring Emerus's orders, would have walked over, trying to see if she can do anything to help this individual as he's reeling in pain. She immediately, furious, looks at Emerus and goes, "What the fuck are you doing? What did you do to him?"
I did nothing to him.
Then what the fuck happened?
That is the fate of anyone whom decides in a moment that they will betray the Scarlet Brotherhood. The very same would have happened to your captain had he had a thought the same. What a glorious end for a proud pirate. This dragon mark, it's a curse. It is the reason why Port Karashi would rather put men like you to death with no warning. I have garnered this deal so that you may live.
You're wrong, you know. You speak of
Also-
William as if he was a monster, as if he forced us to face these dangers. It was my choice entirely to follow him, and I did so proudly. You speak ill of him again, and you will not like what happens next.
Commander, I will need to supplement the men who will be leaving with more Marines. Would that be possible?
That is for the best, I believe. How many do you need?
How many with the mark are there?
10. Minus the 1, so 9 at this point.
Ten men? 10 Marines.
You. Gather what you need. When will be heading out?
We'll be heading out as soon as possible. We have a mission already.
See that you do. Right. Rest of you, let's gather these men. Let's get them to Fort Karashi. Captain,
Commander,
make it count.
certainly will try. The rest of you, back aboard, please. I wish to speak with you and you, in points to Xenia and Grendel, in my quarters.
Grendel just shoves past him, heading towards the captain's quarters. Not happy.
Okay, since this didn't turn into a fight, we can actually just stop presenting this for the moment. He gets the two of you into the room, and he says, Ogna, will you close the door and keep watch, please?
As soon as the door closes, there's no other soldier or like soldiers in here. It's just the three of us, correct?
Yep.
You see Emrys slumps down.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, that sucked.
Still doesn't change the fact that Grendel is going to grab Emrys. You're gonna have to make a strength save and slam him against the wall.
I will acrobatics to just keep away.
All right.
While
well,
that's
so-
happening, can Rico just jump off of Emrys and scurry towards Enya?
Yeah.
So would it be like an acrobatics versus a strength check?
Yep.
So, yeah, you do athletics, and he'll do acrobatics.
I didn't mean to.
It's a 17 plus
That, but
8.
that's fine.
25.
Yeah,
I
25.
roll a 20.
A nat 20?
Oh no, just normal 20.
Working
Oh,
girl
well,
20.
Yeah, so Grendel's gonna grab you by the collar, pin you against the wall. She goes, "What the fuck is going on right now?" Who the hell are you?
Same Emrys you met not too long ago. I just saved all of your lives.
And how do you figure that, Captain?
Somehow they found out, mate. They came aboard, someone invisible. They found your true colors on this ship. They knew William was Scarlet Brotherhood. I just happened to be at the commissioner's house with Nina when she found out. That's when I gave her the idea that were a person who was not Scarlet Brotherhood, would they be in charge if we could not be folded into the Navy? And that is the only thing that has saved you all from hanging.
And with William?
William, I didn't want them to find. William is in the portable hole. He's safe.
Is he still
Is he lying?
Is he still throwing that fit that he was?
Fit.
Or he was all the gas and
Ogner looks over at Millie like they like what?
Meanwhile, Millie the entire time has just been frozen with both hands cupped and then just mouth agape, bug eye, just looking at everybody, hoping that they don't see him right now.
Oh my god.
Did you two not tell her?
Well, we had guests that we had to address.
tell me what.
Grundle, William died in that warehouse.
What?
The captain is dead.
Grundle slams him against the back of the wall. You're lying!
We knew he was dead. What do you mean dead?
He...
The hole. Where did you hide it? They need to see.
Emrys, your feet are dangling at this point.
That's fine. He's okay with that.
The whole... There's a gas emanating from him. And I'm not sure what or who could be causing it. But
Right, so-
the hole is in a safe spot, and I can potentially reveal it. However, we need to have precaution measures for whatever vapor is seeping from his corpse.
Well, he's obviously still doing whoosh magic. Like, William's already dead. He comes back. He always comes back.
Millie, that's why I brought these. And he pulls out the shackles. I figured something like this would be happening with him. And so this should cut off his strangeness for a time.
Millie is going to, as much as I would love for that to be done, it's not my last say on what needs to happen. And he looks to Xenia and Grendel. If the two of them are okay with us at least allowing them to see William, I will reveal where the hole is.
Emrys kind of raises his hands. And he puts his hand over Grendel's. I'm sorry.
I just picture
All right.
Zangief
Just-
as a female, just holding him up.
I just wanted to keep you all alive.
Grundle shoves him against the wall, drops him to the ground. She is pacing around the room. You can see flares of flame coming up. You can tell, like, she wants to rage right now, but she is way too hurt. turning to the nearest bookshelf, she just fucking slams her fist down and just knocking down all the books.
If you make too much noise, the Marines will want to come in here.
She's standing there, heaving, as she just kind of slowly turns back to Emrys. Show me.
If I can't get the gas to stop, whatever vapor he's talking about, I don't want you going in there. It'll be too dangerous.
Well, if the vapor is coming from him, perhaps it means there is still some spite of life left in him.
I hope so. I hope he wakes up. I'm
How
gonna
is-
need his help.
How is it that I know that I can trust you, Emrys? Considering what has all just happened?
You never know you can trust someone. You just hope for the best. I could tell you until I'm blue in the face you can trust me. That I don't want this fucking job. Trust me, I don't. It was the only way to keep you alive.
She's going to walk up to him. You do not tell them where William is.
No, never. As a matter of fact, I have a plan for that.
And if you do anything to hurt the people I care about, or impose on the mission that I have been given at hand, I will rip you limb from limb and leave you on your wife's doorstep.
That's fair enough.
I'm only trusting you because I seriously have no choice right now. Don't make me regret it.
As Ogner is keeping an eye at the door, he says, whatever plan you got going on, you best do it quick. Looks like we got some
Ogner.
company.
You're going to be my acting first mate until the captain does whatever the captain does. Once he's awake, we'll have him decide. I need him to be my first mate if this whole charade is meant to be true. But if you would, have them set sail
I would say now is not the time for party games.
and have us head northwest.
Northwest. You got it, Captain.
That is the
He
direction
taps
of
the cigar.
where the ship was going, right?
Northeast, but I get what you're saying.
Okay.
You're wanting to follow.
We're giving
Correct.
chase to the Crimson Tide ship. Yeah.
Okay. He taps the cigar on the doorpost and closes the door behind him. And you hear the calls coming out to set sail, and the footsteps begin to move around. And after that, you hear,
Yes.
permission to come in, Captain.
Name? Rank?
Apologies. Trevor Malfort, my benefactor, and I believe
Fucking Trevor.
I have some business with the captain of the Pale Lady
Enter.
that I need to complete. He pokes his head in. Excellent. How are you all doing? And he comes in and closes the door.
You.
It's a bit of a touchy time, mate. Make it quick.
Yes, of course. I wondered if I might have some conference with our dear captain here. Privately. I have some business that is incomplete with our esteemed leader.
He's apparently a bit burnt out at the moment.
Gundle. He's talking about me.
I
The
knew
point
that.
If you could all give me the room, I will see you in but a moment. As soon as this business is done.
It is not possible to hand you a room, but I will leave. And she will turn to Xenia and make her way out. I don't like any of this.
Xenia, you notice that Rico's hair on the back of his neck kind of tufts up when this individual moves into the room and walks past you.
Xenia,
Hmm.
I will need the furry one. For
I
the
gave
time
you the
being. Yes, he's on your shoulder. He came back to you.
Where's my furry one?
We need all the props.
He's literally this sized.
Ah, I love it
Xenia's
so
going
much.
to pick him up and just put him on the shelf closest to the door.
Thank you.
And then Xenia just gives Rico a knowing look that basically just means, you're here, you can listen. And we'll leave after Grendel.
Millie will. You put me in a weird situation because I love tea. And Jenya left. A word, a word, Captain, before I part.
Certainly.
And he'll lean into him and whisper into his ears, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
As I said, mate, saving your lives. It was this, or it was the gallows for every single one of you. You included. They would have come on the ship and killed every single one of you. No questions asked, as that is their policy in this port town.
He's gonna nod and he will just he'll nod and attempt to pat his shoulder, and he can either roll to resist or allow it to happen for ties that bind.
I will allow it to happen. I know
Sweet.
he is attempting to gain eyes into the room after he's left.
And then he's just gonna.
Oh, I don't know it, but I get a sense that he's doing it.
All right, well, if you need me, or well,
Yeah.
our beloved Grendel, just give us a holler, and I'll leave you two gentlemen to it. And Millie's just gonna escort herself out with in his priest's clothes and try to find the others.
He gives you a tap back on the shoulder. He says, "Thank you, mate." No, please have a seat, Trevor. I have a feeling I know why you're here.
He lifts his coattails, sits down, reaches over to a basket of apples in William's quarters and takes one. I've kept rather well. So, Captain, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
I know what you're about to say. Whatever deal you had with William, I see no reason why it cannot be our deal, especially since your relationship with the Commissioner is so well in hand.
you are a very sharp boy. You know that.
That's why they pay me the no bucks.
With a sense of humor as well. Very good. Then I think we'll go along swimmingly. So our deal still stands then. That was my curiosity with William out of the picture. I still have my needs to be met. And unfortunately, if they weren't, my hand would be forced to do other things that I really don't care to get
Make
into.
no mistake, it is my intention to give you what you want. However, I do so only to help Grendel find the one she loves.
Whatever your motivations are to get you going in the right direction,
So long as that part stays part of the deal, I have no problems with you.
yes, as far as that goes, I made an offer, a rather generous one, to our dear friend William, and he refused me. Your intentions are to get Grendel in the correct direction, and I have ways to get there that are much safer and much easier than anything you'll find elsewhere. So, if you're ever back in town, whenever we conclude our business that's happening now with Crimson Tide and our dear Aquilarian friend, perhaps we can have a conversation with Grendel about that. But that's whenever you return. And as I understand it, you are pressed for time and need to get out of here as quickly as possible. Therefore, just knowing that our deal still stands and that everything that needs to happen will continue despite the unfortunate circumstances we find ourselves in, that's all I needed, was a little peace of mind, if you understand.
All right. You have it.
Very well. Captain, have a nice voyage.
You have a lovely 2-second trip home.
Have you ever eaten at the Red Paw Noodle Nest? Here
No.
in town? No. When you return, meet me there. My treat.
Very well.
And he exits, closes the door.
As Emmer says under his breath as he leaves, fucking Pratt.
All right. He exits the ship, goes down the gangplank, and watches as the pale lady begins to move away from the dock.
Ellie, if you were watching, have them all come back inside, please.
Can I do something petty?
Oh, please.
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
Grendel approves.
Xenia doesn't like him, so as he's moving off a gangplank, he's gonna cast Druidcraft to make like slippery algae bloom on it.
Okay. So a dexterity saving throw. Cool. I like it.
Fucking perfect.
Okay, that's a 3 plus. Okay, yeah, that's saving throw. Here we go.
Rico doesn't like him, therefore I don't like him.
Grendel doesn't like him either. She doesn't trust that motherfucker.
It appears as though he misses a little bit of a step, and the heel of his boot kind of slips and moves forward in an ungraceful manner, unbecoming of him. That is usual. As he straightens himself up, looks around to see if anyone saw, and then continues to make his way off the docks.
I want to hit the back of his fucking kneecap so badly. I will refrain.
So yeah,
Is Grendel on the ship?
Yeah, she's she's
on the deck.
She's wherever Xenia is.
Okay. Before he exits the ship, he goes and finds Grendel.
She's
Maybe
already pissed
again.
off, mate. Be careful.
It's good to see you again.
Wish I
I'm
could
glad
say
you-
the same.
I've heard that more than a few times. I just wanted to say that your father is fine, recovering well. The poison is just about out of his system, and he should make full recovery. That's all.
As much as I do not like your face, thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. Traveled a very long distance to say so. All right. Well, you all have a lovely day, evening, whatever this is now.
Have the day you
Well,
deserve.
And he exits down the gangplank, makes his ungraceful trip onto the docks, and walks into the city of Port Karashi once again.
And I will let the others know to head back, but I wish to tell you something that the captain has asked in a way through the cards to let you all know what's happened or what's going on. And he explains while we're walking that Millie read his fate through the cards, and the cards revealed that he has accepted his fate and that he wishes for us to continue the goals that we have set. Those were his wishes. And he does explain that his body has been charred to a crisp and it's releasing a green mist, which is why he's within the black portable hole. And then there's nothing else. That's when we'll show up at the captain's quarter.
Is
And
Ogner
he's-
there as well?
Ogner will be preparing the ship to leave. He'll be commanding the crew
Okay,
at the time.
so he's commanding the helm and using the chair. Cool.
Is Millie explaining all this to Xenia and Grendel?
Yes.
Grendel's gonna look at Millie. Well, maybe your cards are wrong. You may accept fate, but fate may not have accepted what is meant for him. If he is still immersed, like emitting this green gas, there has to be something left to it. He's already dead. There's always some way to bring back William. She's very much in denial at this point.
Yeah. And Millie will state that fate changes, but the cards never lie.
Well, then maybe
And
you're not telling the whole truth.
on that one, Millie does choke on his next word. And he gives a smirk and says, seems like we're picking up how I operate. And Millie's going to continue into the room as he posts up on a wall, waiting to see what needs to happen next.
Millie, will you open the hole and lay it out for me? I will go in. I will use my abilities to keep the gas away from me. I'm fairly good with wind that way. And I will attempt to quickly shackle the captain and come back out, and then we'll check in a moment later.
My bad, I was muted the entire time. He will go behind the desk of where the chair is in front, and he will pull the portable hole from underneath as a hidden gimmick for all those gun enthusiasts that like to keep their pistols underneath the desk, and he will open up the bag, or he will prepare the bag of holding to be open when Emrys is ready to enter.
Can I have my bag of holding back, please?
I lied. The portable hole, where the captain is. Yeah.
Yes. But you also have my bag of holding, as I gave it to you at the end of the battle.
Do I?
Yep.
I don't. He says
It has
where the captain
literally
is. So
everything I own as I live out of the bag.
let's worry about the captain first, and then we'll.
Please, Millie. Please.
Fine.
All
I
it
will
has is
give
my
him the.
bedroll and shit. You're not going to find any gold in there.
I'll give him his bag of holding.
Thank you. All right.
So the portable hole is produced and opened when ready.
I stick hand just beyond the black. And I say, "Foos," and I drop in, shackles in hand, and I hold my breath before I jump in.
As you do, you're casting like gust or
Gust.
some sort of wind. Yeah. It pushes against the wall momentarily as it is kind of rolling up on the sides. Your wind spell continues to move it out of the way. What would you like to do?
I quickly shackle the captain's legs and I hop back up the hole.
Okay.
Actually,
I
will exit out to the butcher shop side for a moment.
Okay.
Wait, did I leave that in there with the? Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go in there. I'm gonna find the butcher. I'm gonna say, you don't know me very well. You've seen me come through the hole before, though. Yes.
It rolls up. What time is it here? 2, 3. So it is. He's like just getting up, rubbing his eyes, rolls the portable hole on his side up as a little bit of the gas, not much, kind of like overspills onto the floor as it's this heavy, sort of just toxic, low hanging cloud. And you step through. You don't know, you just go into it and he closes it right away.
Just for a little while, for your own safety, just give it a wide berth.
Right. Have you seen Bean anywhere? I can't seem to find her.
Bean is on the ship. They're okay.
Oh, okay, good. Hope she's having a good time. Just bring her back by supper, will you?
Hopefully.
Has anyone been babysitting Bean?
Ogner, probably.
Ogner was, and doing a hell of a job of it. I had Matt roll some things a few weeks ago. It's been going well.
So, yes. And I roll it up a bit, and I and I just push the air. Just keep wide berth. Sorry. And I head back in.
just had one fucking normal day.
Jump back up the hole.
We all.
We'll give that a solid minute. Hopefully, it dissipates his body's strangeness.
As you give it that minute, you check it again.
Stick face
Unfold
down,
it.
holding breath.
The 20-foot radius of a normal cloud kill is reduced to just William's body.
Okay. Manageable.
Just throw a blanket over it.
Just stick it in a corner.
All right. It's not the greatest, safety, don't go close to him, but certainly you can come down and look and see that we are not lying.
Grendel will slowly make her way down, approaching the body, again recognizing the smoke. Her face is just numb at this point as she just looks at him and she goes, "Why do you always have the tendency to set yourself on fire, you dumb bastard?" I'm gonna pull your fucking soul out of somewhere. I guess just sit there and look hot, buddy. And
Looking
she pretty much at this point, she acknowledges that William is very much dead, but knowing the state of how William tends to be, she's not going to give up on the fact that he can't be brought back. But she is very upset.
I step through I look the butcher's side again. Is he still there? I can't hear you, Chris.
You muted me.
Thank you. It requires opening from his side after a series of well-placed knocks on the wall. And as you do, he opens it up again, kind of a little annoyed because you were just here.
Sorry, I just wanted to let you know. It's safe enough to come in, but don't remove the shackles from the captain's legs, the captain's body.
Here, how about this? I don't use this hole for anything for the next 48 hours, and you leave me the fuck alone.
4 days. Give it 4 days.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next month's double for rent. And he puts this back down.
You pay rent?
Yeah.
And he just kind of comes back into the hole. All right. He kind of sidles up, looks at the burnt, roiling gas cloud that is the captain's body, and he just says, "You're not going to be happy when you wake, if you wake."
I would like the gas detect good and evil.
While he does that, Millie,
It's doing Millie things.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
the lantern?
That is where Chris. I gotta roll a d20.
Okay.
It can be religion or whatever you deem worthy, but because Millie, for everyone and the listeners, because Millie is a follower of the Shadow Queen, and a specific trait of hers is dislike and disfavor for undead. This is a make or break for me, because if I follow her tenets, hopefully she enjoys me. If not, fun things will happen for his clergy aspect of it. Do you have a DC set in mind, Chris, for me to roll for religion?
To see if you abide by your tenets or not?
Yes, because right now Millie is conflicted. He knows relinquishing the lantern and then other things would probably have him dismissed as a man of the cloth for the Raven Queen. And if he relinquishes the information, he essentially has basically become a third imposter. And I have no more luck to help me out with this roll.
I want to roll insight on Millie.
My passive deception.
10.
Yeah, I mean my passive deception's a 19 on my RBF. That's what it's called.
Resting bitch face?
Yes. But yeah, it's essentially Millie's conflicted with, because this is going to start either I do what Millie was intended as a patron or as a follower of the Shadow Queen, or if he goes against her teachings and actually like help bring William back.
Mm.
So that's the conflict of interest right now, because he knows things. So I'm gonna roll a d20 real quick
Yeah.
because I got no modifiers in this. 6, 5 plus 1. This is gonna hurt my heart. Millie is going to you see him pause, Emmerich, and instead of like you seeing like a stone cold trooper face, you see him kind of break a tear in his eye, and you see him point to the porthole outside of the ship where his handy haversack was hanging on a nail just low enough that if he needed to, if you go over, the slightest bit of movement would have sent that bag into the ocean. And you see that Millie has mentally and in religion or on a spiritual level been somewhat defeated. And for those that are not Xenia with a passive 23, could hear under Millie's voice, "I'm sorry, my queen. I failed you." And you see he has turned about and started to walk towards the mess hall area.
It helps. I plan on healing him of his own death.
The reason why Xenia cast Detect Evil and Good is so he can usually ping William as undead. And usually it also catches if anything is desecrated around the area. But I don't believe it would have any effect if William is actually dead. And that's what he's trying to discern for himself at the moment.
There is an unfamiliar ping of undeath that comes from William. It's Fey Fiends and Undead.
Fey, Fiend, Undead, Celestial, Elemental, Aberration. Magically consecrated or desecrated.
Oh, if it's aberration and Fey, you pick that up off of Millie.
You also, from across the room, as you cast this, you sense Celestial.
Before Xenia
As
moves.
go ahead,
No, what were you saying?
please go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying, before Xenia shifts towards that celestial ping, he's going to kneel down beside William. And while speaking at William, he's also addressing the rest of the room as he says, "We know full well that things that die don't always stay dead. Whether it is accepted by nature or not, that they come back is another thing. And also, William, regardless of whether you come back to us, I resent you deeply that I will be the one telling your son about this. So thank you for that."
With the haversack in my hand, I reach in and I grab the lantern, William's lantern, the one that I've seen so many times as he slept, as I watched him sleep, him talking to. Yes, I watched William sleep. Let's not dwell upon that.
Creepy!
Creepy stalker. That's this guy.
Emrys the Yandere.
He will say, "I've heard your name so many times, spoken off William's lips. And unless you want me to say it to these two in this room, you will talk to me and you will tell me what is happening to the captain right now."
I can tell you what's happening to the captain right now. As a voice appears from behind you, the shadows pull from the walls in long, black, iridescent feathers.
Smash.
Wings pull the shadows towards themselves as they settle into a black cloak, and a figure stands before you with a white porcelain mask that has golden cracks that have been mended.
He puts the
And
lantern.
that's where we're going to go to break.
He puts his lantern in the bag. Not fucking with the Raven Queen.
All right. 5 minutes. We'll see y'all back here for more Tales of Vardin. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good little intermission break there. Got some water, got some snacks, and ready for what's to come as we move our way through the Midland Oceans, trying to roll up on Scarlet Brotherhood Crimson Tide. Before we get around to that, the shows for this next coming week, we'll go over them briefly. I'm not sure. I believe Daddy Tarzan 82855 will be releasing a video, probably on TikTok, about our slate for the week. So keep
He
an eye
did
on that.
say there was no Star Wars this
No
week.
Star Wars on
He
Tuesday?
was gone.
Okay,
The Dimensional Dial is still on definite hold. Keep a lookout for that.
there you go.
And Tales of Vardin on Thursday.
There you go. Perfect. So next
Snap.
week, tune in for more of this, as our other shows are on a small break. So this week we're back. I'm reading that on Twitch correctly. So this next week we are back on for Star Wars, correct?
It was
Oh,
this,
they are okay. Great.
it was this previous Tuesday.
Yeah,
that
it was
we
this.
did not have
Yeah,
Star Wars.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
there we go. Cool.
Because he had to
Cool,
prepare
cool.
for
Mhm.
stuffs.
Stiff. Cool.
Stiff.
So next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, tune in for Star Wars, and then Thursday for Tales of Vardin. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything they would like to say or share before we move into?
Holy shit! It's the motherfucking Matron of Ravens, yo.
I'm melting in my seat right now, but nope. I got no announcements.
All right. Very well.
If anything happens to any more teammates, Grundle's killing everybody in the room and them herself.
Everybody, we're just end it all.
Next BBEG is the green god lady.
Emrys will. He's not very up on religion, but he does know that in the presence of a powerful being, one should bow. He does regard the other two in the room. It's like
Grundle literally just tilts her head to the side. She goes, "Who are you?"
this is the Matron of Ravens, literally death herself. Bow.
Oh, hello, pretty lady. And she will curtsy.
You may call me Vanya, or the Silent Queen. I am what you say I am. Where is my little raven?
Millie has left the dimension and gone above. Should you wish to speak with him.
Do you know what you have before you? Do you really know?
What is left of our captain?
What is left of my friend?
Your captain, your friend, has been gone far longer than you know.
We're aware of his nature. We were hoping to be able to cure him of it, so that the natural flow of life could be returned.
It
She
doesn't
gives
make
you
that person.
She gives you a nod in recognition of your efforts to do so. A bad person or not, everyone, every single one, that he's made a deal with was not a bad person. Before you does not lie William Powell the Great, nor Billy Bones the Terrible. But Lich King, Lord Calibran, the one who has evaded me for nearly a millennia, who has stolen more souls from me than I can count, one of them being the soul of your dear captain here. Should you expel this demon from him, there is no returning his soul to his body, for it does not belong to me or any other deity that exists. It belongs to Calibran. The ownership of souls was meant to be only mine. And Calibran, in his greed, found a way to take them from me. So I ask again, do you truly know what's in front of you? Do you even know where to begin?
Perhaps you could help us. Free us. Free him from Calibran's grip. Give us a way. Give us a quest. Some way to save our friend.
Do you know what a phylactery is?
Yes.
No idea.
Your friend here can explain. You will need to destroy it.
How? They are notoriously hard to break.
I've been watching, waiting for a moment, hoping that William's brashness would lead him to this state of vulnerability. Firstly, should your captain return to his former self, which is very likely, you will have to once again subdue him to this point before destroying the phylactery. You will need to have all of the items in place and ready. It will not be easy. To end Calibran, you will need his artifact. The Astral Gate Key, also known as the Pieces of Three. You will need his eye and his hand that are kept by terrible creatures. You will need to take them to the teeth of Naurul, far to the north, and sacrifice the hag that helped him become what he is. What I offer is an impossible task. And should my little raven accomplish this with you, there's a chance that they can prove to be one of my favorite Reapers. Mortals, this is not an undertaking that you are equipped to do.
We weren't equipped before with the things that we faced, yet we still somehow managed to find a way. Nothing is impossible if you look for any and every way to do so, especially when it comes to the risks that are at hand. We may not be gods, but there is a difference between you and me.
I can't tell if you're smart or not. It's maddening.
But there is one thing that I do know. We all die someday. And that's what makes life precious for us. I am not quite sure if you are able to understand, considering the many years that you have existed. But in order to live and love those around us and allow those around us to remain safe, we will find ways to do the impossible. Because we only have one life.
He kind of tugs on Grendel's shirt. He goes, "She used to be human."
And yet she still is here before us. I wonder, have you lost your humanity in the years that you have wandered the heavens?
Careful, careful.
If you were to look down on us so much, thinking we cannot do what you are demanding, let us prove you wrong.
Many have found my embrace in attempting to prove me wrong.
I do not fear it.
You are not meant to.
My papa always told me death is like an old friend to greet you home. But it doesn't mean I am eager to knock on its door.
As you say this, Emerus, I need you to roll me a D100.
What the fuck?
Oh. No. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
No, oh, dear God.
I hate it when you're just randomly roll dice.
I need you to help me on this because I rolled a 0 and a 1. What does that mean?
Oh, I have no idea.
Is that a 1 or is it a 100?
Should say 100.
Because I usually do it as
I thought that's what it is.
As the 90 and the 0, and the 9 is a. The 90 and the 0 is a. I think this is just a 1 for me. But that's insane. That's like a 1% chance still.
It's either a 1 or 100.
Yeah. When you roll a 0 to 1 through a 0, oh, so 0, like 00 and then 0 would be 100.
Okay.
Okay. So what's 0 and 1? It's just a 1?
I think it's just a 1.
1%?
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
It'd be really good if it was divine intervention. I don't think that's what this is, though.
My
Jesus, take the wheel.
Chris, are you okay?
Death. Instant death.
Isn't God?
What happens to? Oh my God!
Let's have 5-minute break.
Yeah, holy crap! I'm gonna need you guys to help me here. Oh my goodness! All right,
What is
everybody,
happening,
everyone to
Chris?
the DM seat now. Okay, so here's what happens. As you're sitting here having this conversation, a magical surge happens. Emrys, you're very familiar with these. Any magic caster would be. This is a diminution. Or diminution. I don't know what the word is. It's
Diminution.
there. Thank you.
Mm.
Of the weave itself.
He instantly pulls out his stopwatch and clicks. It's not a stopwatch, but it's a clock. He winds it and watches.
The Raven Queen falters as she grasps her head and kind of buckles to one knee, and the mask comes off and clanks onto the floor.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know. The thing that I don't know what happens, because it's a 1%. Magic is down to 1%. What the fuck happens to the portable hole that you are all standing in?
We get ejected. Body, everything gets ejected either
Okay.
above or out to
Screws up.
Okay.
It's only openable from that side, so I would say we all get ejected upwards.
Just up onto the deck.
Mhm. Yep.
You all.
Raven
William's
Queen
body-
included, because
Raven
she's stuck
Queen
here in her
included.
avatar form.
all of the gunpowder and the table and the
Grendel's
knives,
cannon.
Grendel's cannon, gunpowder, cannonballs, all just all over the deck.
I would say with 1% consciousness, he doesn't even have time to grab the watch. He is unconscious because he is very tethered to magic.
Not the shame.
Oh my God!
Tell me how you really feel.
Oh no!
Ogner is sitting at his chair, which runs off of magic, and his instruments and dials just and the ship slows. There's still wind, there's still breeze in the sails, but he's looking around trying to like figure out what's going on, and he's like a bit of a headache and woozy as he kind of stumbles around the deck. Millie, where are you at as all of this is happening?
Millie went back to the mess hall kitchen area, and ooh, this is not good for him.
God, you guys could technically kill this avatar of the Raven Queen, and she wouldn't be able to return for a very long time.
Boy. So all of his decks are
Do we feel like killing a
offline.
god
His pack weapon is before him. He can no longer access his other half of his soul right now. And his tattoo has become dormant. Huh. And Millie can't figure out where Emrys is anymore. There's one or two ways Millie can chalk this up. A, the Raven or the Shadow Queen has forsaken him and no longer sees him as her potential of being a Reaper, or B, because he's not that inert in magic, knows that everything has just gone out of whack. Uh,
So heads or tails?
yeah. Yeah, we'll go with heads or tails.
So I'm 3
So
minutes.
which one's which?
I'm gonna be unconscious.
I mean, it'll be a disadvantage for him because he doesn't even know that the Raven Queen's on board. But we'll say heads will be he has accepted his fate on the Raven Queen, forsaking him for denying the upkeep of keeping undead from coming back.
Did Millie get fired? Or did Millie think he got fired?
Well, yeah, he went against his coven or his tenants and made it possible for William to possibly come back.
Huge deal for Paladin.
Big deal for paladins and clerics.
Ah, I see.
Essentially, he's an oathbreaker now. Which
Smash?
I mean, not great for Millie because that was the only way that he could make amends for what happened to his village.
Characters do always tend to get hotter when their world goes downhill.
Oh no!
Question.
Answer.
Before that, or before all the magic fizzled out, Detective Langwood lost 10 minutes. Would Xenia been able to pinpoint what that celestial ping was? And could he get to it?
That's
Just
the
before
Raven
everything
Queen.
just falls apart.
That's the
Ah,
silent.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So she was there. She's been there watching. Okay, I see. Farosi.
yeah, so just the difference for Emrys is like the lack of magic is like it feels like it's pulling his life force out of him. So yeah, it sucks in particular for him.
Grendel has no idea what's going on. She just finds herself sitting on the deck. She's looking around, seeing the Raven Queen in the state that she's in. She goes, "What the fuck is going on, Millie?" And she's gonna turn to Millie or not Millie, Emrys. What is going on? She's gonna see what state Emrys is in.
Cold.
He's out cold. Yeah.
Emrys? She's gonna kind of like lift him up by the collar. Emrys?
He just flops back down.
He's breathing. He's not dead.
What the heck is going on here? She's going to turn to the Raven Queen. Ma'am? Are you okay?
The weave, yes. I'll be fine.
What happened to the whoosh?
What was it just now?
This has been happening for quite some time. This is the worst it's been. We are running out of time. Your mission, the Paragons, they must be put together. And she collapses over to one side.
Oh. Ma'am? Grendel's gonna quickly, like, kind of looking around. She can find, like, some rope or some, like, a tarp of some sort. If there were tarps stored away, she'll try to, like, make, like, a makeshift, like, cot and gently lay the Raven Queen down, putting her mask beside her. Not quite sure how else to help.
You put that shit back on her.
She doesn't want to like suffocate her or something. She looks really sweet.
No one is supposed to see her face ever.
Well, like Grendel would like equate that to like putting a plastic bag over someone who's like dying.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my goodness. So,
however long
yeah.
it goes on,
Yeah.
Emrys will like, oh.
Oh,
After
you're
3
back.
minutes, he's like, oh fuck.
What happened just now?
He's
You
shakily
should eat
like,
this, you'll feel better. And then he just like puts one good berry in front of your face and just like pushes it into your mouth.
how do you have a good berry right now? They should be gone.
She always has good berries. Or he always.
Always get on hand.
Anya is the best when it comes for snacks.
He shakily reaches his hand into his bag, only for it to like reach the end of the bag, and he's like, "Fuck."
Wait, Goodberry still works in this?
Yeah, it shouldn't. That's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't that also make it spit up everything in the bag, though?
No.
Oh my god, Rick's
Just
gonna
That
throw
to
up.
lose his
is-
connection
Oh, no.
temporarily with the extra.
Guys,
dimension.
Rick.
Oh my
Anything
God.
magical
What
was
shit
just
does
missed.
Rico
Oh
have?
my god. This is chaos.
Yeah, that's why I was like, poor boy.
Like the scene from Family Guy where they all take EpiCat.
Oh god, yeah, you're summoned.
Not the camera. So,
God.
in Zenya's end, a couple things happened because he had Amarok, which was his abyssal direwolf, on the deck. When that pulse wave emanated, Amarok just collapses into a splatter of ink, and there is now an ink stain on the main deck.
God.
Second thing, Rico, who was on top of you, just looks like fucking yakking out everything that Xenia stored in him, including my content. Thank you.
Oh my
So
god.
out
I just-
comes
You just grab it back.
amulets, potions, arrow, spare breastplate, gloves, another dagger, barrels of holy
Jesus
water, my horn of silent alarm, my bedroll, more ink, my mess kit, my pipe of smoke monsters,
All the
rope,
things.
so much rope, a shield that I never use, another knife, a tinderbox, a torch, a water skin, a necrotic tome, scrolls.
Grendel is just
Something
watching in
else?
horror as this
Emrys
pack
doesn't even have that many things.
He's just
On
violently vomiting all this stuff on the deck.
on the bright side, Grendel, there's rope.
There's rope. Oi.
What would she need
My
rope
pack monk.
for?
Does Emrys see the Raven Queen?
Yes.
Let's put her. He sees the mask next to her.
Mhm.
He like purposefully keeps his eyes down, grabs the mask, and puts it over her face. Just
Oh my gosh. For the next 2 hours this goes on, the Silent Queen does not
2
move.
hours.
2 hours. And slowly, Emrys, your hangover-like state begins to clear. Your head stops pounding. And she slowly sits up.
My lady, is your avatar all right?
You have more important things to do than take care of Calibran. Calibran has been a thorn in my side over 400 years. What's one more? If the world is not here, there's no fixing Calibran's problem. Then again, the end of the world would fix Calibran's problem, wouldn't it?
If everyone dies, so does he. No matter what state he's in.
One way or another, Caliban dies. Make sure it's by your hand.
We'll
And
do our
she
best.
transmutates into a raven and begins to fly off. The deck is organized, clean, and ready as once again Ogner's instruments begin to move and operate. Someone roll me a D100, please.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Got a 75.
75.
Yeah, beat me to it.
As you've made way towards your destination, you said 75.
Mm.
Okay. Let's see. Clear skies. Let's see. And that is... so somebody roll me a D6, please.
Go, Taylor, go.
Grendo.
Can you roll dice? That's a 6.
6.
Nice.
I
Clear
hope that's
skies.
a good thing.
Clear skies, but a little bit more of a rough sea. As the ship begins to make its way, swell after swell, just pounding down after each one.
Does that
Making its way
mean that
towards.
the wind is quite blustery then?
It is helping, yes.
As Pooh Bear would say.
The blustering day.
And I point toward the sails.
The sails swell to their maximum. The ropes creak, a few of them almost to the point of snapping, but you know enough to not push further as it
He has no
lurches
control
toward.
over the wind speed that is used. He just changes the direction.
Okay. Yeah. As you are moving through... Yeah, go ahead. You had something?
Had a question. Did we
Yeah.
by chance get a full rest?
Yeah, we'll call this a long rest. As
Sweet.
we're moving
God.
along.
Because
Yeah.
I considered Millie taking on some level of exhaustion from losing half of his soul. So yeah, we needed that for your boy because he was looking worse for the wear.
Oof. So what are we looking for? We are moving towards north-northeast to the rendezvous point specified in documentation taken from the Crimson Tide. As you're moving in that direction, I need everyone to make me a perception check, unless you're just kind of sitting and riding along.
25.
For
16.
I got a 30.
Oh, dear God.
That's a
The
15.
crow's back, baby. I haven't been forsaken yet.
11? Not great.
Okay. Millie and Xenia, you see before anyone, as the ship is moving forward through these rough and choppy seas, there are bits of crates and wood splintered Grendel, you also see it eventually as the pieces become more frequent. Millie, you see a dismembered arm floating in the water.
Ugh.
Xenia, another body floating on top of a board. Barrels and segments of a ship. And you both spot the flag of this ship. One that you are familiar with. One that you both sent scouts to see.
Oh,
Fill the
shit.
sails. Bring the ship to a stop. Weigh anchor.
All right, Captain. Ogner slows the ship, drops the anchor.
Xenia is going to summon his Kipin from his book of sketches, and without even warning the others, he is going to climb aboard Berza and try to find any survivors or any like whole bodies, or better yet, the body that we both know that he's looking for.
Yeah.
Grendel, polishing her cannon, immediately loads a few rounds, keeping it kind of by her side as she is waiting to see if she needs to.
Emrys
do
is
it
going
anyway.
to, quickly as he can, climb to the nest and grab the spyglass from the person who's manning the nest and take a good look around.
Millie's going to send his raven to scout looking for the one that he impersonated to show William.
He impersonated.
Not the dead William, but
Yeah.
the
You
the
dressed up
lookalike.
as Grayson,
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah.
Sure did. That's what I'm looking for. I couldn't remember his name, but I knew it was his son.
Yeah, that's who Xenia's looking for.
As you're
Well,
both
Sweet.
looking,
Yeah.
you find a couple other bodies, for the most part whole. Ropes and sails covering others, no whole bodies. Make a perception check or investigation. Let's go with investigation since we're actively looking for.
Nah, you took the fun out of it.
I took the fun out of it.
Is this Grayson's ship?
No, that was shit. That was an
9 for
8.
me.
So you got an 8, I got a 9.
Am I rolling with advantage because I have a spyglass?
Yeah, make a perception check with advantage. Since
Are we all making perception?
I'm looking for anyone who might be grabbing hold of wood, chests.
Okay, then go
Going
ahead
in
and
and
do
out.
investigation if you're actively looking for someone or something. If you were just kind of peering the horizon, then I think perception would work. Let's go.
Are we all making perception checks?
If you are looking for someone,
Natural 20 plus 1.
She would be looking.
Okay.
17 for Grendel.
You would spot it, Emrys. A young woman. About the age of 17. Floating aboard a barrel, unconscious, bloodied,
Breathing?
but breathing.
I yell down, "Man overboard! Port! 3 degrees!"
As soon as he points in that direction, Grendel drops her cannon as you hear "Thoo, thoo, 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 thoo," and you just see her leap off of the deck as she dives into the water using her cloak of the manta ray and her 70-foot swimming speed to make her way out to where
Emrys also climbs out of the nest and runs along the mast and dives off the mast, high dives, and says nothing, but moves his hand in odd ways so that the water will accept him. He shapes water, and he just comes back up on top, and he freezes a piece of water underneath him. And then he pushes himself with water.
Grendel's just fucking freestyling.
All right. So you are both heading to rescue this individual.
Mhm.
Okay. You make it there just in time for her to lose grip on the barrel and slip into the water.
Grendel immediately grabs her, puts her over on her shoulders, just kind of leaning her against, puts her on her back and on her shoulders, making sure she keeps her head above the water. She seems to be still breathing. Are there any others?
Not that I could see.
All right. Well, if you want to do one last check, I'll go ahead and head back with her.
All right.
And she
He'll-
will make her way back to the ship.
He'll sort of go around. He'll find the main part of the ship, the most unbroken portion, and he's looking for bodies, but he's also looking for treasure that might be around.
What in particular are you looking for? Like gold, jewels, anything like that? Or more so items or...
Probably items, anything that wouldn't have sunk. Chests, more than likely, barrels, crates.
Cool. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
But it's no good. Oh,
With that
5.
attitude. Sometimes you gotta look on the bright side of life. Doo-doo, 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 doo-doo.
Perception is so much better.
And what was that for your
A 5.
5. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. It looks as though most of it has sunk by this time. And looking at this is probably days old.
So definitely, this isn't the Crimson Tide that's done this, but it's along their route. So that's strange. So they must have run across these people as well on their way. You see the water bulge up under this piece of ice that he has like frozen to his feet, and it just surfs back to the ship.
Frozone.
Yeah.
So you make it back to the ship with this individual.
She will layer down on the deck, probably on the same like makeshift cot that they kept the Raven Queen on at some point. And she's just gonna look her over. She doesn't she doesn't know much, but she's gonna, I guess, do a medicine check just to see if there's any like severe injuries, or if there's anything off. Also looking for infection.
All right.
He climbs the side of the ship, gets back up.
It's a 18 plus 2 for a dirty girl 20.
Very nice. overall check. This person's been out here for a while. Their skin is burnt and blistered. Their lips are chapped and dry, cracking, extremely dehydrated, emaciated from hunger, and just alive, but not doing the best.
Grendel will take out her water skin and then she will also take out the little tin box after taking a small dagger, carving up a few shavings off the floor, pulling out Oscar, and she is going, as Oscar pops up, she's going to start pouring the water in this young woman's mouth. And she goes, Oscar, can you make me a very large bowl of your delicious beef stew, please?
Of course, Grendel, the beef stew coming right up. I will do it just like this. Yes, there we go.
And I have ship chips for you. And she will feed him the little shavings of wood.
More off the top of William's ship. Bit by bit, feeding it to this little element.
Hey, that's how this little guy gets paid, okay?
I love it.
But
why are there holes in my ship?
Oscar, hello there.
Oh yeah, it's very tasty.
5 stars.
But she will attempt to try to pour water and try to administer water to this individual. Maybe
as
try
you
to wake them up.
Yeah, as you do, she instinctively doesn't even open her eyes. She grabs the water skin and just squeezes and begins to chug and spill it all over, trying to get it.
Whoa. She's gonna try to like kind of pull back the water skin a bit and like, you do not want to drink so fast. You'll end up getting sick. Hey. Hello? Hello, my name is Grendel. I'm here to help you. Here, drink some more. And she's going to tip the water up and pour it down her throat very slowly.
She begins to drink it slowly, as you're saying, realizing that whatever's going on, it's better than where she was.
There we go. It's okay. It's all right. I'm getting some food ready for you, okay?
Can we get some blankets, please? It's been in the water a long while.
And she will take off, for the time being, she will take off her cloak of the manta ray and just put it over her just to give her some sense of warmth. And are you feeling all right?
When it drifts in the ocean for nigh on 2 days, I'd like to see how you fare. Sorry, that was incredibly rude.
It's all right.
Well, you were out at sea for 2 days. I'd be a little grumpy too. What happened?
What's your name first?
Eveline.
Oh.
You can call me Eva.
What did happen?
We were out looking for Brotherhood. Hunting them down. Caught wind. From what I hear. The whole armada. 6 of them. Absolutely destroyed us.
Once the soup's done, Grendel will hand it over to her, setting it in her lap.
Whom do you serve at the pleasure of? Eva.
Hell, Sovereign's Navy. Under the command of Grayson Powell of the Sovereign's Pride.
Grendel, you knew this. This was the ship that we were following.
Well,
Do you know where he's at?
They took all the officers and half the crew, and
shoved him in cages, put him on a vessel, and took off. The other 5 ships stayed, and the rest of us aboard were left to whatever they had for us.
You said they took the captains?
Lieutenants, captains, commanders, anyone of importance.
Well,
What direction did they head?
Sorry, go ahead.
Northeast. Are you familiar with Siren's Reef, Hangman's Cove, that sort of area? That's the direction.
That was our destination. Count yourself lucky, ever. You've been picked up by a Nen naval vessel.
Please tell me you're headed to port.
How many ships?
How many ships what?
How many ships did they go? Did they carry? How many men? What can you tell me?
5 battle-equipped ships, at least 30, 40 per crew. The flagship was 100-gun man of war. Rivaled Sovereign's Pride. The flag was wyverns. That's everything I can really recall for now. If I think of anything else, I'll tell you.
Thank you. Can we find her a bed, please? Get her comfortable.
Hi, Captain. Way this way, please.
That changes things. We can't go to that island. A ship-to-ship battle with 5 vessels, one of them a man of war. The Pale Lady will be blown out of the water before we even got one attack in. We need reinforcements.
Is there a way we could sneak?
Without knowing the layout of the island or where the ships are docked, I don't like our chances.
Curious question.
Mm-hmm.
Were Zinnia and I able to see this new person board?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. While they're doing that, because Millie is the only infiltrator among this crew and no one else can, we're going to insight this little girl just to make sure, there's no sneaky things happening. Only I can do the sneaky things. I'm the greatest. There can only be one. What is my plus for my insight? Where's my cursor so I can look at my sheet? We got an insight of 18, 19, 20, dirty 20.
All of the medical signs of dehydration and the amount of time at sea appear to be on point, and she seems very forthright and truthful in everything that she is saying as far as the information given to the captain and information about what had happened. So yeah. Good insight.
Still don't trust her. But I'll allow
Good.
I am going to go. What's it?
I'm running into an issue where I don't want what happened at the warehouse to happen again. We need to be more careful about our actions. If the captain, I'm sorry to say, if he had taken a moment to consider what options he had, that would have not have ended up in a fight at all. I could have gone in invisible and planted those bottles and been out and shot them from a distance. Beyond the point. We need to be more cautious in the future.
So what you're planning?
Knowing
Go out there on a rowboat and infiltrate, or
knowing how many vessels there are.
if that was
We
too
have to
dangerous,
get we have to get long vision on the island. Is there any way any of you have to gain visuals on a place from a far away location?
I have a keeping.
I will say I can swim in the water as well. And breathe underwater.
If we can stay the ship at least 300 miles out and send something ahead of us to gain vision on where their ships are moored, we can maybe sail the ship around and find a way through. Perhaps we should do a small party. Sneak aboard.
Xenia, how far can your companion fly?
As far as I want them to.
A new captain suggestion. You know that portable hull that we got?
Yes.
That leads to a different area.
Yes.
Xenia's companion can listen to specific instructions. We can occupy that portable hull for a moment to get some material. Have her fly the companion to a inconspicuous portion of the island, and I don't know. I can leave a card on it or a coin, so that way I can see what the area looks like, and then we can pop out like a what are those little dolls that that one realm in the chaotic elemental planes has it? I think it's called like a elemental doll. It's like a Russian doll, but that doesn't exist in this time and plane of existence, but it's like that. Just a suggestion.
Millie's a fucking genius, and it's so scary sometimes.
I like it. Your companion, what do they look like? Xenia.
Xenia points to the giant winged keeping that is like hovering above him. I will send you a photo of that. But Xenia will go on to say, it seems to me that we are past the point of honorable combat and one-to-one and when man against man and when fighting with honor. These people value none of that, and they've made it abundantly clear. Sure, they have ships, but ships are made of wood, and wood is flammable. I'm just saying.
I like where everyone's head is at. I just don't want to leave all these men with nothing to do. So, Ogna, is there any way I can contact you quickly should we need reinforcements?
Let me look and see what he has.
Ogna's an artificer, right?
Grendel will pull out one of the sending stone that William gave her, and she goes, I was going to use this to speak to my parents, but I've already been informed that my father is apparently doing fine, and hopefully, maybe at some point I can find a way to send a message to them. But here, and she will place the sending stone in his hand. I believe it is only good for one message and one response, but if we need it, then it would be best to
Plenty.
have on hand.
Have the ship stay about 300 yards out. If you get engaged, if you get seen by any ship at all on the horizon, back to port then. You leave us. You cut and run. The lives of the men are too important.
If that's how you want to play it, Captain.
And for those who are unfamiliar, Kipin is essentially a large monstrosity that is antlered owlbear with like claws and demon wings.
They're one of my favorite.
So,
Loving them.
while they're lovely, not entirely inconspicuous,
Only if you can see them, which you cannot from several dozen miles away.
right?
Let alone at night.
I think that's what we'll do. So, encircle the island at around 300 miles out, and then we will head in. Hopefully, if you can find another island to moor behind, that would be the preferable option, especially if it is able to obscure the ship from view.
Okay.
However, with the lack of that,
Curious question. How long is it going to take to circle the island time reference wise?
For sake of brevity, like if you were to send your Raven or what?
Just curious, like when we get into position for us to depart with whatever idea or task that we like to do. How long have we been planning, and how long does it take for us to get into position to go to that island?
I would say that you guys have kind of been planning for like 10, 15 minutes. And then to get, have Ogner read charts, move the ship, redirect, and find a local nearby spit of land to moor behind. That is in close proximity to the Hangman's Cove. It would probably take that whole thing, planning and moving into position, probably take about an hour.
Cool. Captain.
yes.
Can I get some supplies from mainland on that portable hull real quick?
Certainly, I did sort of tell the butcher we wouldn't bother him for 4 days, but
any man can be bribed with enough coin. I mean,
I don't have
any man
any
will
coin at all.
listen to reason, but I assure you, it won't be. He won't know that it's us. Hey, is Bean still on the board or on the ship?
You want to look for Bean?
Yeah, I'm curious to where she's at.
Yeah, roll an investigation.
What's a bean? I don't think I was here during this.
Tiny
I wasn't
Bean.
here when Emmer said I'd be there.
Dean is the king.
Yeah.
Have a
Does a
ginkgo?
13 make it? 12 plus 1?
You look around and can't seem to find Bean, but you know that Ogner was left in charge when William brought Bean onto the ship back in Port Karashi. Yeah.
Second mate Ogner. Where's Bean?
Bean, oh shit.
God damn it.
He starts to look around and goes, hang on a minute. and he runs around. I'm gonna
Like shake a bag of food or something. Like
shake a bag.
Here, Bean.
Well, what I'm going to do, and I'll roll a history for this, is I want to see if I can remember the knock sequence for the door to be open, or do we know that it can just be open at this point, or does it still have to say knock?
You know the knock sequence.
Great. I'm going to Mask
Yeah.
of Many Face look like Bean, and I'm
Okay.
going to go through the portable hole.
All right.
Yeah, do that.
Before you go, Emrys will be like, if you have any extra gold, buy a hat of disguise. We'll need one for the future.
You're not my dad, but okay.
Also,
Thank God.
no, you. And Emrys, if we are going into this fight, which we most certainly are, I do want my gauntlet back.
It was on the ground. Did your pet not spit it up? Did you pick it up?
No, he didn't pick it up.
Oh, it's
Out of respect,
still
he's telling you
probably
he's
on the
getting
ground over there. I didn't pick it up. And Grendel.
Yes.
Here. And I give you back the shit.
Grendel, like, her eyes immediately went. She immediately takes it and she starts latching it back onto her arm, and she almost seems like a bit at ease. And she kind of looks at Emrys, and she's still a little sour towards him, obviously, but she her expression then just kind of softens, and she goes, I really hope we are able to get through this in one piece. It seems whenever it rains, it pours.
It never rains on me. I wouldn't know.
Everyone gets rained on.
No, not me. You'll see.
What?
DM.
He's water.
Oh.
Is there a rowboat attached to the ship?
Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a rowboat attached to the ship?
If we can, I would enjoy it if your companion could go ahead of us. And then I could propel us along in a rowboat quite quickly, I think. The portable hole idea, while good, I'm afraid of what might happen when the portable hole is closed and we are inside of it. I think perhaps there's only a short supply of air in there. And with 3 people, it would be quite short.
Was Emrys not there for that?
What?
Wait, can Grendel's breathe in the bag of holding with her mantis cloak of the manta ray?
Breathing underwater is not breathing when there's no air.
Okay.
If you're underwater, yeah.
Okay, all right. I just figured I'd ask.
We're all talking about the same hole, right?
Mm-hmm. If it's closed from the butcher side, does it have a limited supply of oxygen in there, or is it?
Oh well, we'll
Yeah,
figure
if both
it out
of
once
them are
I come
closed, then yes.
So
yeah, because as long as one side is open, we'll have air.
I would rather take a rowboat.
I'm fine with that.
I have control over that. We should definitely take the portable hole, as well as our bags. But, I can basically push the rowboat with water, and nobody has to row or anything.
While they're doing that, I'm definitely hopping in, doing the sequence, going through. Hopefully, homie doesn't see me.
We'll wait for Millie. We'll kind of find
Do the
an island
sequence.
to explore at.
I do the sequence.
You do the sequence. Rolls up slowly. I thought I told. Bean, good to see you. All right. How was your trip? Come here. Tell me all about it.
Imposter
Didn't think
Bean is
about
going
that, did you?
Imposter Bean is going to like fake speech, but does it in a way of how her talking pattern is, but
Mhm.
could only hear like low seeping gasp, not gasp of air, but like seeping air is coming through the vocals as if mute in a sense. And I will roll whatever it is you would like for me to do.
So, what are you trying to make it sound like? Like she had so much fun, she's sick? Like,
Make it sound like
or
whatever gasp. Not gasp. No, nope. Can't do that. Strained her voice enough to where she just lost her voice.
okay, yeah. Make a performance check for me.
Yeah, I'm good at this because I'm a sneaky boy. 19
Would've died
plus
Instantly to
9.
cloud kill, but okay.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, I couldn't metagame that one because I was going to hit that, but I completely forgot.
19 plus 9 is crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
28. Yeah.
Bean, I told you not to overdo it with your singing, but sounds like you had a good time. You can tell me about it some other time. For now, got some orders to fill, so I know you just got back, but I need your hands. All right.
Nods and then quickly scampers out the door.
Ah, Bean. Yeah. All right. Wyvern Tail. You. Yep. Got it. Yeah. You what? And he goes back to work, just running the butcher shop.
How tall is
And
Millie and how tall is Bean?
so Millie is a solid like 5'7".
Bean's
Pretty
right at
short.
like 4.5, 5 feet.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm fun size, okay?
You can grow, I think it's 2 inches. Shrink 2 inches with disgust. So Bean's just a lot taller.
Bean just had a growth spurt.
Interesting.
But
know,
Millie's
he's a lot.
gonna drop shape, and then do I know that his shop is open right now?
Whose shop are you going for?
You can see him a foot taller. a
The
foot
butcher shop that I just came out of.
Yeah, I mean he's running business. There's people in the shop itself,
Great.
like buying stuff and moving through. It's probably about midday at this point.
I am definitely going to come by because I know for a fact this man has not met me yet because I was disguised every time that I come through. I just forgot his name that quick. ADHD at its finest, people. God, it was
You never
right
win
on
the
tip.
brain eats
I
things.
feel that, brother.
It's Valor the Butcher.
Thank you. Is this Ballard the Butcher fine meats establishment by chance?
You're in the right place. What do you need?
Great. Couple of things I'd like to order. Get some things ready for a trip. But out of curiosity, I heard in the grapevine that you may have something of interest I'd like to purchase from you.
Yeah, what's that?
And Millie leans over and states that heard you have a lucrative amount of locations for your business, and I'd like to see if you have any additional places that I could purchase. Partnership, as we may say.
I'm sorry, I don't get your meaning here.
What was his name? Had a nice little zing and a ring to it. Captain the Great. Or no, it wasn't that. It was something generic and easy to remember. Was a tall fellow. Kind of stunk a little bit. William.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who that is, honestly. If you'd like some meats, we've got a good deal on Billet going on right now. Griffin's good this time of year.
Yes, Griffin is good. It's what his first mate told me as well, but if you truly don't remember, that's fine. Be ashamed to, I don't know, introduce some ideas to some other competitors. Sure, man of your stature wouldn't care too much, but also at the same token, like to make a little money on the side. I just need a place to hide some loot that I acquired, and heard you may have something of interest I'd like to look at.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I will do so. We will have a 7 as that, and then a 17. So 7 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 deception is my lowest.
Listen, I don't know what you heard, but I run an upstanding butcher shop here. Completely legal on all accounts. And what I think you're insinuating doesn't happen around here. So you're going to have to go somewhere else, or I might have to call somebody.
Didn't want to have to do this. Well, if you must call somebody, you must. But I hate to reveal a secret that you have behind that very door right there.
Are you shaking down our butcher friend?
And then Millie
storeroom.
will. What's that?
My storeroom back there.
You could call it that. But I heard that side leads to wondrous adventures. Splendid at times, too.
Yeah, I think I think you're done here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Very well. And then Millie will turn and leave. Out of curiosity, while I'm leaving, is there a way that I could... No, I'd have to do an investigation for that. Never mind, I digress. I will proceed to the local common, I guess, magic or up magic shop while the party does what they're going to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. You said he never met him before in your current form, and you're asking for some pretty secret stuff up front.
Oh, I didn't want to relieve anything and get it to where we can no longer use that hole, but it was definitely a... I was trying to get another hole off of him.
Gotcha.
For sure.
I was like,
All right.
what's his goal with this?
Definitely trying to get another portable hole to put on the ship for a get out of jail free card.
Okay, so Millie's headed to the upsale shop for magical items. What's everybody else doing? We have made port essentially for the time being. Zenya, you said that you got a spyglass. What do you want to do with that? What are you gonna do with that?
So I can have a spyglass while I'm flying on the Rizal.
Perfect.
Advantage
So
on
we
perception check.
are
Pretty nice.
we are scouting then ahead.
Yes.
Okay. As you fly towards Hangman's Cove, you see the Crimson Tide. It's dragon-like vertical red sails moving forward, very distinguishable as they are headed towards this small rocky island. Make a perception check with advantage, please. And also a stealth check, depending on how close you are getting to the Crimson Tide.
28.
28 for perception. Beautiful. You see the
So
waters. Yeah, go ahead.
For stealth, I usually hang back. I don't get too close.
Yeah, perfect. You see as the Crimson Tide nears the current island, the waters around it in a circumference-like pattern disturb in a ring around the island. As they fire a cannon, the waters around settle as they sail past that outward circle. They begin to disturb a little bit more, but not as much as before.
Does this seem like a magical barrier of some sort around the island that is causing the water to behave like that? Or does it seem like there is like something underneath the water that they scared away and then sailed past?
Make a nature check for me, please.
That's a 10.
10.
I don't say.
It's difficult to say. It looks more like possibly a creature effect, but magic isn't necessarily out of the question.
I will ask the sailors when we get back onto the ship if they've heard of any stories. Okay. Do I see any noticeable, what's the words? Like watchtower equivalents, as if are there posts sort of around the island that would suggest they're keeping an eye out from those positions?
So you see an older fort structure that has degraded and fallen in on itself over time and over the years. One of the large archways contains 3 or 4 skeletal bodies hung by their necks, thus the name Hangman's Cove, and a small cave-like entrance towards the base that goes further in. With your 28 perception, you also see a large cage that is flat on the bottom, straight up the sides, and curves to a dome at the top. And with your spyglass, you are able to see sparrows flying, flittering one side to the other, unable to get out. Make one more perception check for me.
32.
32. This is beautiful.
Isn't it?
Because as you are looking, you see a glint off of the sun. Almost blinds you through the telescope. And one of the sparrows, tangled around their feet, unable to land anywhere. A golden locket tied to a chain that is tangled around one of the birds.
Xenia has an idea of what this is, because this is not the first time he has freed creatures that have turned back into people. Does that seem to be what's going on here?
That does seem to be what's going on here. And that's where
Are
we'll
there-
end our session tonight.
Oh,
Go ahead and ask your question. I'm curious.
Oh, I was gonna ask, are there any other seabirds flying around, like normal ones? Or does it seem like they've left this island well?
Yeah.
Which is strange in itself.
There is not much here as far as that's concerned. One more thing that you see with your ungodly, what was it, 32 perception?
32, I rolled a 19 plus 13.
2020 vision, Xenia.
There is a long reptilian tail that curls down into the cave. You can make a nature check if you would like to see what that is.
15.
15. You've heard of them, but have not come across one of them before. This is a behir.
Smash?
Yo, that's bad, yo.
And that's where we'll end our
so
session
bad.
tonight.
Oh my God.
All right, we'll deal with that next session. Hopefully get Millie back on this side because we gotta need him. Yeah, but we'll find out what Millie gets shopping in Grand Soren next session, as well as what happens with this Hangman's Cove, the Crimson Tide.
Oh, you
and
just
the
looked up what a
fate.
behir was, didn't you?
Who, me? Oh no, I didn't. I'm pretty
I
sure
didn't. I will now.
Smash!
Yeah, the party will be
Spelling
fine.
bee.
Oh, HIR. Like
yeah.
the.
Oh, I fought one of these before in a different campaign.
How dare she look it up? Or he.
They're cute.
I need to know what the monster looks like so I can see if it's a smash or a pass.
I mean, we'll find out next time on Tales of Vardin and To Be Diced. We'll see you guys. Have a great night.